Good morning, students. In the last class, we were studied about hydrides of, isn't it, different elements. Kirti. Okay, it's okay. In the last class, we were studied about hydrates of other different elements, isn't it? For example, ionic hydride, saline hydride, isn't it? Ionic or saline hydride. And also we studied about metallic hydride and also about covalent hydride, isn't it? After that, we studied about water. So that is nothing but the main compound of hydrogen. So that is nothing but water. We consider it as oxides of, we consider it as oxide of which one? Oxide of hydrogen, isn't it? See, students, in last class we studied about structure of water, isn't it? We studied about structure of water. It has a bent structure. See, in case of water, if we consider water, there are two lone pair of electron. So that's why we just eliminate this part and just will see this part itself. Clear? So that's why we call it as bent shape with a bond angle 104.5. Clear? This is about the structure of which one? Water. So then comes properties of this water with the structure. Clear? First one is it is highly polar molecule. Student, it is highly polar molecule. It is highly polar molecule. See, if we consider oxygen, hydrogen and hydrogen, this is a water molecule, isn't it? And we already studied about which one? About dipole moment. So here we know this is a partial positive one, it is partial negative one, this is partial positive. That means if in case I'll consider dipole moment sign, so this will be like this, isn't it? With a positive charge at electropositive atom and negative with a electronegative. See, isn't it? Like this. So now what happens? These two will add together and give a dipole moment. So this is nothing but resultant dipole moment, isn't it? And the value of this one is around 1.84 dBi. Clear? So that's why it has a highly polar molecule. That means water is a highly polar molecule. First one. Clear? And second one, see, in a liquid state, water molecule, see, I'll consider water molecule undergo aggregation. See, undergo aggregation with a hydrogen bond. Aggregation with a hydrogen bond. See, again, I'll consider a molecule of water. See, it is H2O, one molecule. Again, I'll consider another molecule of water. Again, I'll consider another molecule of water. See, so this is nothing but there are several water molecules where there, isn't it? Like this, like this. So now see, student, if in case I'll consider hydrogen bond between these two, because oxygen is a more electronegative and hydrogen, which is required for hydrogen bond. See, there is a force of attraction between this oxygen and hydrogen. So there is a force of attraction between this hydrogen and oxygen. So there is a force of attraction between this and this. See, there is a force of attraction, isn't it? See. So that means in a water, that means in a liquid state, water molecule undergo aggregation with the hydrogen bond. See, these all are nothing but hydrogen bond. Clear? So this is nothing but about hydrogen bond. That's why H2O, that means state of water is a liquid. In a normal condition, state of water is a liquid. Clear? And the third point is very important, see, student, the crystalline form of water is ice. That means whenever we crystallizes the water, that means we condense, that means we just decrease the temperature. In that case, what will happen? We'll get ice. Clear? In ice, It has a hexagonal structure. It has a hexagonal geometry. In the last class, in an online class, we already discussed about this. It has a hexagonal form. That means hexagonal shape. It has a hexagonal shape. See, I'll just draw the structure of ice in this case. See, student, ice has a hexagonal. See, like this: oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. 6 oxygen will be there. 6 oxygen will be there. Next one, see, there is hydrogen. See, in between 2 oxygen there will be hydrogen. Then there is a bond, that is nothing but see, I'll just draw the structure, after that I'll explain. Okay, see, this is actually intermolecular hydrogen bond. Yes, it is an example for not intramolecular, it is intermolecular hydrogen, because here 2 or 6 molecules of hydrogen is present. That is intermolecular, not intramolecular. Clear? Intermolecular. It is, see here, see here. So this one is 1 oxygen bond which will attract with 2 oxygen. Again, see, so this is another type. Next one, this will be hydrogen, again like this. See, here 2 hydrogen molecule will be there. See, next one, hydrogen, hydrogen, again hydrogen, because it has a bent structure, isn't it? So these all have a bent structure. See, these all have a bent structure, isn't it? See, student, in this case, this water, that means it is water molecule, this is another water molecule, and this is another water molecule, and this one is another water molecule, this one is another water molecule, and so there are 6 water molecule were there, which were interbinded with this bond, hydrogen bond. See, so these all are nothing but your hydrogen bond. Clear, student? And this portion is empty. At this portion is empty, so that's why this portion will be filled with the air, or we consider it as a porous. Clear? We consider it as a porous. Due to this density of ice is less than that of density of water. Density of water, that is nothing but liquid. Density of water, isn't it? So density of ice is always less than density of water, because yes, it floats over, because it has an empty space which will occupy with the air, which will occupy just like a bread. Okay, it will occupies with the air. This is an empty space, isn't it? It isn't. So that's why density of ice is less than density of water. So that's why ice floats over water. Ice floats over. Is it clear? Is it clear, student? Is this clear? And remember one thing, each oxygen is surrounded with 4 molecules of oxygen. Each oxygen is surrounded with 4 molecules of oxygen. That means each oxygen will surround with 4 molecules of oxygen. So that is again in the form of tetrahedral structure. Is this clear? Is this clear, student? So these are some properties of which one? That is water. Highly polar, and in liquid state it is water, that means liquid, because of aggregation with the hydrogen bond. And next one, the crystalline form of water is the ice, which forms a hexagonal shape. And last one is density of ice is less than density of water. So that is purely based on structure of ice, because in a structure of ice it will form a hexagonal shape, and the empty space will be there at the center. So that's why what will happen? It will floats over the water. That means ice floats over the water. Is it clear? So these are some properties of water. Further we'll study about chemical properties of water. See, student, very important. Chemical properties of water. Chemical properties of water. Consider it as water, okay, H2O. First one is about amphoteric nature of water. Student, we already discussed about this, isn't it? Amphoteric nature of water. Amphoteric nature of water. What do you mean by amphoteric nature, student? What do you mean by amphoteric nature? Huh? Any substance which can act, or water can act as both acid as well as a base, isn't it? So see, here I'll consider some example and just try to answer me, okay? Which one is acid, which one is base? See, I'll consider first one, water reacts with NH3. Then just tell me, NH3 is an acid or a base? Ammonia is an acid or a base? Ammonia is an acid or a base? It is a base. Why it is base? See, why it is base? We already discussed in the last class. Due to presence of lone pair of electron, it can easily donate electrons. So that's why we consider NH3 as a base. Isn't it? In the last class we studied. So then it gives. Another example I'll consider, simple example. That means water reacts with HCl. Water reacts with HCl. Clear? So now HCl, we know what is HCl, hydrochloric acid it is, isn't it? Acid. So now the question arises, water is reacting with the base, and here in this case, water is reacting with the acid. So now question arises, how this will form a bond, or how this will give a product which can explain about the acidity of water in this case and basicity of water in this case. Just tell me which product will be here in this case, which product will be there. Salt plus H2, salt plus H2, no. If we consider that one, it will never explain about water. That means it will never explain about acidic nature of water. See, again I'll consider another theory here. So that is Bronsted-Lowry method or Lowry theory. Bronsted-Lowry. About this, you will study in an equilibrium chapter, student. So that's why I just give a hint for you. Just remember that point, okay? According to Bronsted-Lowry, acid is a H plus donor. Acid is a H plus donor and base is a H plus acceptor. According to Lewis, we consider acid is a electron acceptor, base as a electron donor, isn't it? So now in this case it is reverse. Cl minus where is okay in this. Now just remember, acid is a hydrogen donor and a base is hydrogen acceptor. See, now H plus is NH3 is a base, isn't it? So that means hydrogen must be donated by H2O. So now see, student, in this case we consider H plus and OH minus. Isn't it? If in case we consider it in the form of H plus and OH minus. Now see which product will be there. Which product will be resultant product? See, I already told acid is nothing but H plus donor. So it will donate H plus. So that means it remain as OH minus. And the product will be NH4 with the plus charge. NH4 with a plus charge. So that is nothing but aqueous. Is this clear? See, OH minus and NH4 plus. If I reverse this reaction, in that case, it is a proton donor and it is a proton acceptor. See, if in case reverse the reaction, in that case, it acts as an acid and it acts as a base. So remember, student, electron acceptor is acid in case of Lewis, but hydrogen donor is a acid. Remember this one? Clear? So now just tell me in this form, in this reaction, what will be the product? See, HCl is a hydrogen donor, H plus donor. See, H plus will be donated to this one. In that case, it will be H3O plus. H3O plus it will be Cl minus. It will be, yes, it is a hydronium ion. So this one and Cl minus. Clear? So just write down aqueous, and this is also aqueous. See, amphoteric nature of water. In this case, it acts as an acid. In this case, it acts as a base. Isn't it? Remember student, whenever you consider acid with a base, that means water with acid, in that case it acts as a base. If in case you are considering base with the acid, water, in that case water acts as a acid. Is this clear? Is this clear student? Yes, that is hydronium ion, this is hydroxyl ion, this is ammonium ion. See, this one is ammonia, ammonium ion, and Cl minus is chloride ion. Is this clear? Student, just reply. Is this clear? So further I'll consider another one, that is nothing but self-ionization. Self-ionization. What do you mean by self-ionization, student? What do you mean by self-ionization? Itself, that means water molecule reacts with another water molecule. Clear? Self-ionization, or else we consider it as self-reaction. That means self-reaction. Water reacts with another water. What will be the product, student? What will be the product? It will undergo self-ionization. See, one will act as acid, another one act as a base. One act as a proton donor, another one act as proton acceptor. What will be the product in this case? Yes. No. Just think, Teja. One is hydrogen donor. It will donate a hydrogen. See, if in case I'll consider this in the form of H plus OH minus. So H plus is donated to this one because acid, isn't it? Yeah, that's why we'll get H3O plus. Don't forget to mention this plus charge. H3O plus OH minus. I consider it as a reversible reaction. If I consider reversible reaction, what will be the product? If I'll consider reversible reaction, which one is acid, which one is base? Which one is acid, which one is base? See, just tell me. If I reverse the reaction, which one is acid in this case, which one is base in this case? Just tell me. OH minus is a base because it accepts hydrogen, and this one is acid. Just reverse the reaction, student. In this case, hydrogen is donated with H3O plus to OH minus. That means it is an acid and this is a base. And remember one thing in this case, see, these two are known as these two. That is water and this one OH minus, known as conjugate acid base pair. Conjugate acid base pair. About that you'll study in a equilibrium chapter. Okay, about that you'll study in a equilibrium chapter. So just remember. So this one is acid, this one is base, and we consider this acid as a conjugate acid. See, we consider it as a conjugate acid, and we consider this one as a conjugate base. Conjugate base. Okay, conjugate base. Is this clear, student, about amphoteric nature of water? Amphoteric nature of water, is it clear? So for that you have to remember this one. You have to remember that one. So next one, important one, redox reaction involving water. Redox reaction involving water. See, again, this will be explained in our redox reaction, but I again give hint for you. See, you already know about oxidation and reduction, isn't it? Oxidation and about reduction. But you only know about oxidation and reduction in terms of addition of oxygen and removal of oxygen, isn't it? Yes. Redox reaction is the one in which both oxidation and reduction will take place. That's right. But you studied, I think, oxidation and about reduction you already studied, but it is in the term of addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen, isn't it? But here we'll study in terms of electron, okay? In terms of electron. See, oxidation is a process where loss of electron takes place. Loss of electron. And reduction is a process where gain of electron will take place. Okay, or else again there is another statement, that is nothing but, see, oxidation is a process where there is an increase in oxidation number, and in case of reduction it is decrease in oxidation number, student. Yeah, removal of hydrogen and oxygen, that is a right one, but it is a ancient. That means it is initially it was assumed. That means removal of hydrogen or addition of oxygen itself oxidation. But nowadays we consider in terms of electron theory or in terms of oxidation number theory. Okay, this is ON is nothing but oxidation number. ON is nothing but oxidation number. We already studied about oxidation number, isn't it? So here, that is a hint, okay? Just remember, oxidation is a loss of electron, reduction is a gain of electron, where increase in oxidation number is oxidation, decrease in oxidation number is oxidation. Example, I'll give, Na gives Na plus electron, Na plus electron, isn't it? This is loss of electron, gain of electron, Cl plus electron, it gives Cl minus. Okay, see, in this case, oxidation state is 0 because it is elementary state. This is also 0. 0 to plus 1. See, 0 to plus 1, increase in oxidation number, that's why it is oxidation. Clear? Just a hint, okay? You will study in a detail in a redox reaction chapter. See, Cl is again elementary state, that's why it is 0, and here in this case it is minus 1. Decrease. 0 to minus 1, it is decrease in oxidation number. In this case, 0 to plus 1, it is increase in oxidation number. Is it clear about redox reaction? Student, is it clear? Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear? If it is clear, I'll go for example for this redox reaction. Okay, see student, next one is about redox reaction involving water. So that means water undergo redox reaction. See, water reacts with sodium or electropositive atom. See, water reacts with sodium and we know the relation, or we know the reaction. What happens when water reacts with Na? What happens when Na reacts with water? See, I'll split it into H plus and OH minus. I'll split it into H plus and OH minus. To balance this, I'll just consider 2 molecules of Na, 2 molecules of, that means 2 molecules of H plus and 2 molecules of OH minus is produced. What will be the product, student? Just remember, sodium reacts with hydroxyl group and it forms NaOH. And it forms NaOH. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? Huh? So now, what will be the remaining thing? Yes, it involves hydrogen gas. See, whenever water reacts with electropositive atom, it always gives water. That means, sorry, water, not water, it is hydrogen. It always gives hydrogen. We know about electrolysis process, isn't it? In electrolysis process, it always gives what? That is H2 gas, isn't it? See, it gives H2 gas with the elimination of NaOH. Now just tell me, see, I'll just consider its oxidation state, student. So this is a little bit complicated because we don't know about redox reaction, isn't it? So that's why it will be little complicated, but it is easier if you understand this concept. Okay, see, in case of H2O, what is the oxidation state of oxygen? It is -2, isn't it? Isn't it, student? It is -2. I'll consider this pen itself. See, it is -2. What about hydrogen oxidation state in water, student? What about hydrogen oxidation state in water? In a combined state, what is the hydrogen oxidation state? We already discussed. Not +2. See, there are 2 molecules of hydrogen is present. See, like this, oxygen, hydrogen. What is the oxidation state of oxygen? -2, because we know for a 17th group, 16th group, we have a -2 oxidation state. Yes, it is +1 and +1. Commonly we consider +1 oxidation state, that is for +1 oxidation state for hydrogen. But what about in H2? What about in H2? What about in H2? Elementary state it is. Elementary state. See, if in case I'll consider Cl2, its oxidation state is 0. If in case I'll consider H2, its oxidation state is 0. If in case I'll consider N2, those are nothing but elementary state elements. So that's why we consider it as 0. We consider it as a 0. So now just tell me, +1 to 0, +1 to 0, increase or decrease? +1 to 0, increase in oxidation state or decrease in oxidation state? Yes, that is decrease in oxidation state. If it is decrease in oxidation state, it is a oxidation or reduction? If it is decrease in oxidation, it is reduction or? Yes, it is a reduction. It is a reduction. See, decrease in oxidation number, it is a reduction. Clear? So that's why in this case, water act as, see, in this case, water act as oxidizing agent. Not a reducing agent, it act as oxidizing agent. Clear? Again, there is another hint. See, another hint. Oxidation process and the species involved is known as reducing agent. In a reduction, a species it involves is known as oxidizing agent. Clear? Reduction, it undergo reduction, isn't it? So that's why we call that species as a oxidizing agent. That is reverse of this one. Reverse of this one, okay? If it is reduction, the process is reduction, in that case, the element or the compound is a oxidizing reagent. Is it clear? Is it clear? The element or a species which undergo oxidation reaction is known as reducing agent, and a species which undergo reduction reaction is known as oxidizing agent. In this case, water undergo reduction process. So that's why it is oxidizing agent. Is it clear, student? I know you are finding any difficulty with this, but try to understand. Just write down these points. It will be easier, okay? The species which undergo oxidation is known as reducing agent. A species which undergo reduction known as oxidizing agent. Clear? In this case, water is undergone reduction reaction. So that's why we call it as oxidizing agent. So now I'll consider one more example, student. So that means water oxidizes to oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. In the process of photosynthesis. What is the reaction for photosynthesis, student? See, water reacts with carbon dioxide. Water reacts with carbon dioxide and it will give photosynthesis. It is photosynthesis, student. What will be the product? It is photosynthesis. What will be the product in? Yes, glucose and water and oxygen, isn't it? So that is C6H12O6 with the elimination of water and oxygen. See, I don't want to balance this equation. I don't want to balance this. If you want to balance, then in that case, you have to balance, okay? Just consider water and carbon dioxide reacts together to form glucose, water, and oxygen. Clear? Yes, yes. Water is oxidized to oxygen. Water is oxidized to oxygen. See, now I'll consider same reaction here. Water is oxidized to oxygen. What is oxidation state of oxygen in this case? Student, just reply. What is oxidation state of oxygen in this case? Oxidation state, yes, because it is an elementary state. That's why we consider it in a bracket. So next one, what is the oxidation state of oxygen in water? What is oxidation state of oxygen in water? Just tell me. It is -2. It is -2. Common oxidation state of oxygen is always -2. So now it is decrease in oxidation number or increase in oxidation number. -2 to 0. -2 to 0. Increase or decrease? It is increase in oxidation number. It is increase in oxidation number. In that case, which type of reaction it is? So that's why the reaction is oxidation. The process is oxidation. What about this? What about this? And the species is, you can't see, I think. And the species is known as reducing agent. So this one is reducing agent. Is this clear? Is this clear, student? So that means water can act both as oxidizing agent and reducing agent depending upon the type of reaction. So this is photosynthesis where water is oxidizes to oxygen, and in this case water is hydrogenated or reduced to water. It is reduced to water. Is it clear, student? Is this clear? So these are hints for you. Just write down in your notes and try to remember those points. Okay? Is this clear? See, in the first step, it is redox reaction involving water. In that first one, water acts as oxidizing agent where water reduces to hydrogen. In second case, that water water oxidizes to oxygen, and the process is known as oxidation, and the reagent is known as reducing agent. Is this clear, student? If it is clear, I'll move for third property. Clear? If you have any doubt, just ask me, okay? Because these are basic things and you have to remember those points. So next one is about third one, hydrolysis of, third one, hydrolysis reaction. Third one, hydrolysis reaction. Hydrolysis reaction. What do you mean by hydrolysis reaction? That means it is addition of hydrogen. Water. Hydrolysis is nothing but addition. See, there will be some words like hydrogenation, hydration. Hydration is nothing but addition of water. Hydrogenation is nothing but addition of hydrogen. Dehydration is nothing but, or dehydrogenation. Dehydrogen is nothing but removal of hydrogen. See, hydrogenation, I'll consider here. If in case it is hydrogenation, it is addition of hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen, H2. Clear? If it is hydration, it is addition of water. And the process is known as hydrolysis. That means addition of water. Clear? Hydrolysis. See, hydration and hydrolysis, there is a difference, okay? So now, what do you mean by hydrolysis reaction? See, water has, I'll write water. So water has high tendency of, high hydration tendency. Clear? It has a high hydration or hydrating tendency. That means the substance can easily dissolve in water. Some substance can easily dissolve in water. That means readily reacts with water. So for example, if in case I'll consider some example, see, if in case we add some covalent compound or some ionic compound or some ionic compounds, readily dissolve in water. It will dissolve in which thing? Yes, it will hydrolyze some compound which are a covalent or ionic compound. See students, I'll consider simple example. So that is nothing but silicon chloride. See, silicon chloride, what is the composition? SiCl2 reacts with water. Silicon chloride reacts with water. It gives, what it will give, student? See, just check out. Hydrogen will be H++ OH-, and in this case it is Si and Cl2. Or else, see, whenever silicon chloride reacts with water, it produces silicon oxide, SiO2, silicon oxide, with the elimination of HCl. See, this reaction is not balanced. Just try to balance by checking your notes or book, okay? If you want to balance, I'll just balance it. CSiCl2, 2 molecules of H2O. In that case, it will give almost 4 molecules of HCl. 4 molecules of HCl. So sorry, silicon oxide. Is it clear? No need to balance, okay? In this case. So further, I'll consider another example, that is nothing but phosphorus oxide, P4O10. See, P4O10 again reacts with water. What will be the product, student? In this case, it will give one acid, which is very important acid. Any guesses, student? Hydrogen is present, oxygen is present, phosphorus is present. Yeah. With respect to phosphorus itself, it gives one acid. See, student, you have to remember these all things, okay? So the product is H3PO4 aqueous. Phosphoric acid is H3PO4 aqueous. Again, you have to balance the chemical reaction, okay? So next one, azide. I'll consider N-3 n minus 3. For example, if in case I want to write this Bn3, okay? So those are nothing but your substance. N minus 3, it is oxidation state of N is minus 3. Aluminum nitride, we can consider AlN3. Okay, so see, N minus 3 reacts with again water itself, reacts with water, and it forms, see, nitrogen and hydrogen is present. Nitrogen and hydrogen is present, and it will form NH3, and the remaining, see, if in case I'll consider this way, 3 molecules of H plus and 3 molecules of OH minus. Nitrogen reacts with H, 3 molecules of hydrogen, it will form H3, and 3 molecules of OH minus is produced. Clear? So that means it will readily hydrolyze the reactants. Okay? So that is nothing but high hydrating tendency. It has a high hydrating tendency. It readily reacts with water, it gives silicon oxide. It readily reacts with this one, it gives phosphorus acid, and it will really readily react with gives NH3. So these all are very important reaction. See, I'll send some questions related to this, okay? Today, just remind me, today at 6 or 7, I'll just send you. Just check which all questions were important from this topics, okay? Is this clear? So this is about hydrolysis of reaction. And the fourth point is, and the last point for this one is, see, fourth point is hydrates formation. Fourth is hydrates formation or formation of hydrates. It is not about hydride, it is hydrates. Students, whenever, okay, I'll send. Whenever we consider any aqueous solution, if in case I'll consider NaCl, aqueous NaCl solution. So now just remember, student, I want to convert it into solid state. Clear? So first of all, I'll consider any substance in a NaCl. That means NaCl solution. I'll consider NaCl, aqueous NaCl. That is, NaCl is dissolved in some aqueous content. That may be any ether, alcohol, or water. Clear? I just dissolved that into this. So now, whenever we want to consider a solid form of that salt, then we'll consider a process known as crystallization. See, student, we'll consider this process, that is crystallization. This is one of the purification technique also, crystallization, purification technique. Purification technique. We use crystallization. Clear, student? We use crystallization. So whenever any aqueous solution or aqueous salt undergo crystallization, it will crystallize as a hydrates of some salt. Clear? That means just remember, whenever we consider crystallization process for some aqueous solution of any salt, in that case what will happen? Some of salt can form hydrated salt. See, for example, we write copper sulfate. Clear? We write copper sulfate in a chemical lab. We consider copper sulfate salt. In that case, we find 5 molecules of water. 5 molecules of water. See, in a elementary state itself, we got like that in a box. That means in a industrially, we'll get in this form. That means copper sulfate is in the form of, that means CuSO4.5H2. But this salt is solid itself. But this salt is solid. It is not an aqueous solid. It is not an aqueous salt. Clear? This is solid salt itself. Yes. So water is in a binding state. That means it undergo binding state with the crystallization process. Clear? So that is known as water of crystallization. Yes. Remember one thing. See, in this case, we consider copper sulfate 5H2O. If you consider a box or any chemical bottle, in that case, you may find the thing as a CuSO4.5H2O. That means it has a hydrated, that means crystalline water. So that means it has a water of crystallization. But it will never indicate that it contains water. That means it is not an aqueous salt. Clear? So that means water molecule undergoes some reaction to form this type of combination. Clear? So just remember, whenever any aqueous solution or aqueous salt, it gives a color, sometime it gives color, okay? That will study in a D block elements. Yeah, sometime it will give color. Or else see, if in case we consider copper sulfate, which is hydrated, okay? Again, whenever it absorbs water, different, that means the process is different. In that case, that will change its color, okay? Just like ferrous. Ferrous is that means green color. If in case it hydrate, that means hydrogen, water is absorbed by that Fe2 plus. In that case, it will changes to Fe3 plus. That means from green to, it will changes to that brown color. Clear? Sometime it will absorb and it will change its color. But hydrated salt is not in a color. Hydrated salt will be in a color. Okay, almost those are colorless itself. That means white color powder. Clear? Crystallization, it gives three types of hydrates. First one is, see student, first one is coordinate, or else it is known as coordinate or coordinated water. See student, it is known as coordinated water. Coordinated water. So that is again another important term. About this you'll study now next year, that means second year, but again I'll give some hints for you. See student, coordinated water. See, I'll consider a simple example. So that is nothing but for coordinate water, I'll consider chromium, which reacted with water molecule, H2O, 6 molecules, and it has a +3 oxidation state. To balance that, there will be Cl3. To balance that, there is a 3 molecules of Cl. That means we consider it as 3 molecules of Cl minus 1. See student, what you can understand with this? Huh? What do you mean by this? See, in this case, we consider it as a central metal atom. Central metal, this is second year topic, central metal atom or metal ion. We consider it as central metal ion. And we consider this as a ligand. And this thing which is in a bracket, it's called as coordination entity. See, the geometry of this one will be like this. So that means like this: oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, like this. Like this it will be. That means it forms a coordination bond. It is not a common covalent bond or ionic bond. It is a coordination bond. Student, this much detailing is not required because we'll study in the next year. Okay, just remember, this water act as a ligand. And it will bind with the central metal ion. Clear? So that's why we consider it as a hydrates. This is a hydrates of chromium. This is a hydrate product of chromium. Clear? So this much detailing is not required because again we'll study in the next year. So just remember one example: coordinate water. So this is a coordination entity. See, this bracket is known as coordination entity. In that, so this is central metal atom and this is ligand. Clear? Where water molecule is formed or it binds with chromium. It binds with boom. Second hydrates is nothing but interstitial water. Clear? Interstitial. We already discussed about interstitial site, isn't it? Interstitial site or interstitial water. What do you mean by interstitial water, student? If in case water molecules were substituted at the interstitial site, in that case, that is known as interstitial water. I already discussed this. If in case I'll consider any close packing of atoms, in that case, there will be some empty space. See, there will be some empty space. And in that position, water molecule will be arranged. In that position, water molecule will be arranged. So that's why we call it as interstitial water. That is, for example, barium chloride is situated with 2 molecules of H2. See, this one is known as interstitial hydride. Interstitial hydride. Is this clear about interstitial hydride? And last one, hydrogen bonded water. Hydrogen bonded water. For that, I'll give example in above. See, hydrogen bonded water. I already discussed about this. See, if in case I'll consider copper sulfate, CuSO4, we consider it as dot 5H2. So this is a common symbol for that. Clear? CuSO4. But actually its exact structure or exact composition is copper with see, H2O4, CuH2O4 minus 2. To balance that, there is a sulfate. See, there is a sulfate, SO4 minus 2. Clear? Clear? This is plus 2. And to balance that, there is SO4 minus 2 plus 1H2. 1H2. Actual composition of this one is like this. See, students, copper sulfate, actual structure of this one is like that. That means it is again a coordination entity. This is a coordination entity. And remember one thing, coordination entity or the ligand which present in a coordination entity never forms a hydrogen bond. It will never form hydrogen bond. But the water molecule which are out of this coordination entity can form hydrogen bond. So now the question may be arise, in case of copper sulfate with 5 molecules of hydrates, how many hydrogen bonds form, or how many molecules of water can form hydrogen bond? This question may be asked for your exam. See, in case of hydrogen bonded water, in this case copper sulfate with 5 molecules of H2O, how many molecules of water can form hydrogen bond? This question may be asked for 1 mark, student. Remember, in case of this one, only 1 molecule can form a hydrogen bond. Only 1 molecules of water can form hydrogen bond because it is in a free state. But these are in a combined state. I already told, if in case we have to write its structure, it will be like this. Water molecule, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, isn't it? So these all are in a binding position. But water molecule, this only 1 molecule is in a free state. So that's why it will undergo formation of hydrogen bond. Remember this point, student. This is very important for 1 mark. Clear? Is it clear, students? These are nothing but properties of water. These are very important properties of water. So next important thing is about hard and soft water. Hard and soft water. You have to tell me, and I'll just revise it because we know much about water, isn't it? That is about hard water and soft water. What do you mean by hard water, student? Or what do you mean by soft water? What do you mean by hard water and what do you mean by soft water? Just tell me. In terms of lather itself. Yes. Water which does not form lather is a hard water. It's very good. Which not forms any lather with the water, that water is known as hard water. And what about soft water? It gives readily, which one? Lather, isn't it? Water which gives readily lather with the water or with a soap is known as soft water. And about hard, it will, yes. So next, listen one thing, student. So hydrogen or whatever, the hydrous of water, hardness of water is due to. Hardness of water is due to. I got answer. Hardness of water is due to presence of. No. When salts dissolve in water, it forms. No, because some minerals we need, isn't it? Some minerals we can't drink highly. Yeah, purified water, we can't take that. Huh? So that's why there must be some minerals, added minerals must be there in water. Clear? So distilled water we can't consider it for drinking purpose. Clear? So that's why there must be some minerals. Okay. So now listen, hardness of water is specially due to presence of calcium and magnesium salts, isn't it? Calcium and magnesium salt. So what, in which form it will be there? Salts of, yes, salts of magnesium and calcium will be there in the form of, first one, in the form of bicarbonates, or else which is also known as hydrogen carbonate, or else in the form of, yes, chlorides, or in the form of sulfates. See, whenever there is a calcium bicarbonate or calcium chloride or calcium sulfate, or else magnesium bicarbonate, magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfates, in that case, it is known as hard water. See, student, so water which give readily lather with a soap is known as soft water, and which do not give a lather with a soap is known as hard water. And the hardness of water is due to presence of salts of calcium and magnesium. And which type of salts were there? So it is bicarbonate or hydrogen carbonate, both are same, but name itself different. And then chlorides and sulfates. Is it clear? So now the question, what about soap? What do you mean by soap? Student? Soap is, yes, sodium or potassium salts of, sodium and potassium salts of, base, long chain hydrocarbonate. Yes, long chain fatty acid. Long chain fatty acid is known as soap. Remember this point, student. This may appear for your examination. Soap is nothing but it is sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acid. Any example? Yeah, long chain carboxylic acid. You have to consider hydrocarbon chain. Okay, long chain finally it will be carboxylic acid itself. Yes, but you have to consider it as a long chain hydrocarbon. Any example? Yes, that is right. Right answer it is. But what is the name of that compound? Or what is the name of that composition? Sodium tetraborate. So this is known as sodium stearate. And the composition will be, yeah, sodium stearate it is, and the composition will be, composition C17H35COO. It may be Na. If it is Na, it is sodium stearate. If in case you are considering potassium, in that case you have to write it as K. Yeah, that is also Shilpa. So those are also your soap. Okay. Yes. But here we consider this simple example. Okay. This simple example. See, that is nothing but sodium stearate. How it will react with hard water? How it reacts with hard water, student? See, C17H35COONA reacts with, I'll consider M plus 2, where M is nothing but calcium or magnesium. See, whenever soap reacts with hard water, it forms a scale, isn't it? It forms a layer, or it forms a salt layer, isn't it? And that's why the efficiency of a boiler will decrease, because it will form a hard scale whenever it reacts. See, whenever sodium or this one, salt of this one, sodium stearate reacts with hard water, that is nothing but calcium or magnesium, it gives, see what it will give, C17H35, see Na in the form of +1. To balance that, I'll just shift Na here and M here. NaH35 COOM. If in case I write in this way, is it right? So because M is in a +2 state and this whole compound in a -1 state, what you'll write? See student, so this whole thing is +1 like this, C17H35 COO minus and Na plus. This is in the form of this type. Whenever it reacts with M2 plus, see M2 plus is there. How will consider? Yes, you have to consider twice of this one. Twice of this one, and the side product will be 2 molecules of Na plus. Just balance the chemical reaction here. Priya, so this is nothing but your PPT or precipitation or some hard substance which is formed with the help of this one. Clear? Just remember this one. Okay. It gives a PPT of calcium and magnesium stearate. So this is a PPT. We consider downwards arrow mark for PPT. PPT, what do you mean by PPT, student? What do you mean by PPT? Precipitation. It is nothing but precipitation. Okay. It gives a precipitation with salt. Yes, yes, right answer. Is it clear? Is it clear? About soap? About soap, just remember this is one example you have to remember, and how it will react and how it will form precipitation, that is very important. So next one, there are two types of hardness, isn't it? Which type of hardness it is? First one is temporary hardness, and second one is permanent hardness. About this we'll study in our next class. Okay, study well student. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we'll finish this chapter. Okay, study well, and just remind me, okay, to send those questions. Just remind me. Okay, take care, study well, prepare well for the exam. Okay, it will be on 21st, isn't it? So study well. Take care. Bye.